even though when we do psychotherapy, we're sitting most of the time, we're communicating with our bodies, with our hands, with our faces, with our posture, with our breath. And this has regulatory effects. And when people get really, really soothed, when people get to a place where they're feeling a sense of surrender to unity, they're probably having memories, implicit memories, that were laid down in the second trimester of gestation. Okay? This is when an infant is in the womb. And this is what they experience. And as far as we can tell, this is a very blissful place. Okay? We don't hear infants crying in wombs. We don't get brain waves of infants in distress in wombs. It's a pretty mellow place.
No matter what's going on with the physiology of the mother?
Well,
which I hope.
yeah. Yes, their endocrine system and their brain shifts, but there are levels of protection through the placenta and through other parts of the mother's body, so that if the mother's really upset, the kid doesn't get as upset. But you know, infant fetal cocaine syndrome. I mean, infants can be poisoned psychically and physiologically, but they're mostly protected. And also, there's a lot of endocrine shifts during pregnancy that support a mother providing a good environment for children. There's a lot more postpartum depression than prepartum depression. Okay? And a lot of postpartum depression is cultural pathology anyway. In other words, when you start having studies that show 60% of mothers and 30% of fathers having postpartum depression, that's a cultural pathology. That's not a human pathology. You don't find that in tribal societies. And you give one weekend of training to expectant parents, and those statistics go down to 30% and 15%. In other words, there's not enough support for mothers with infants. They need a tribe around them, and infants need it. And because they don't have it, they get burned out. They try to do everything they did before and also provide a tribe for their infant. They become exhausted, their relationship has problems, or they lose attunement with each other, and then pathology comes out of that. And a lot of it is depression. One of the reasons I wrote The Attuned Family, How to Be a Great Parent to Your Kids and a Great Lover to Your Spouse, is focus on that attunement all the time, starting before conception to after the kids go away to college. Everybody says they like to have kids. How many parents? Yeah, all right. So, are you glad you did it? Yeah, most all of us. Okay, but almost all parents describe themselves as happier when the last kid goes away to college with their spouse, almost without exception. And personally, they're happier too. So, let me see. We don't have kids for the stress reduction. I don't think so. Don't have kids for the money. You're right. That's worse than the stock market. Okay. Don't have kids for improving our relationships, screws our relationships up to a certain extent, more challenging. But somehow there's something that happens developmentally with all of us that makes it really worthwhile to have kids. And I think that as we get more wise in this culture, and as us, the teachers, the therapists, the people who put this information out, I think that having children can be a more joyful, easier experience for mothers and fathers. That their love affair can get better when they have infants. And that their connections with other people and each other can get better. And we all know that that can happen. So the external regulation, second trimester, we have these feelings of unity. And these implicit memories, there's two kinds of memory.